Hey my friends, welcome back to my channel. This is Angel from Simply Angel Tia. I am going to show you guys how to crochet this corner to corner scarf. As you can see here, this is a beautiful scarf that is done with a corner to corner. So you will see we have these boxes here. If you pull your work apart like this, you will see very clearly that it's actually made out of small boxes that come together to make the solid work like that. It's very nice. It has a really nice texture, and of course the yarn that has a self-changing colors like this is so beautiful. So as you can see here, this is what I have made, and I will be showing you guys how to make as well. Okay guys, before you go ahead and get your materials together for this project, I would just like to remind you guys to not forget to subscribe to my channel, and also to hit the notification bell so that you don't miss any videos that I'll be putting up on a weekly basis. Comment and like. If you have any questions, comment in the description box below, or in the comment box below, and of course share these with your friends and family who may be interested to making something like this. Okay, all right, go get your stuff and let's get started. Okay, so this is a corner to corner work. So the first thing that we're going to be doing is we're going to start with a slip knot. Okay, and then we're going to go ahead and chain 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, and now you have your chain of 6. What I do is I count from my left hand side. You can also count from your right hand side, but what I do is I count 1, 2, 3, and in the third chain here I'm going to do a double crochet. And if you're counting from this side, then you will count 1, 2, 3, 4, and in the 1, 2, 3, and in the fourth you're going to do your double crochet. Okay, and then we're going to do a double crochet in the next stitch, and then you have one more stitch that you're going to do a double crochet into. Okay, so as you can see here, we have created one box, and these chain 3 that we left out at the end here counts as a double crochet, and then you added 3 more here, making it 4 altogether, and therefore it's the first box, which is also the first row of our corner to corner scarf. And then you're going to go ahead and chain 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and you're going to do the same thing where you count from, I count from this side, so 1, 2, 3, and in that third stitch I am going to do my double crochet, and then I'm going to do a double crochet in the next stitch, and then a double crochet into the final stitch here. Okay, so as you can see, we created our second box. So this here is my first box, this is my second box, and to join these two boxes I'm going to flip the first box like this, and in this first gap here where we created a chain 3, I am going to do a slip stitch to join these two boxes together. So now it looks like we have 2 boxes that are beside each other. Okay, and then I'm going to chain 3. 1, 2, 3, and I'm going to do 3 double crochets in this gap here. So there's 1, there's 2, and 3. Okay, so now this is our second row. So our first row has 1 box, our second row has 2 boxes, and then we're going to have 3 boxes in our third row, and so on and so forth. But to go ahead and start our third row, we're going to chain 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then we repeat what we did earlier, which is 1, 2, 3, and in the third chain from the left you're going to do a double crochet, and then in the next towards the left you're going to do another double crochet, and in the last one to your left you're going to do a third double crochet. So that makes it 4 with the chain 3 that we left out here. And then again, we're going to use our left hand and flip the work like this so we can connect by doing a slip knot, a slip stitch in this gap here that was created by the chain 3. Okay, so that's the first box of our third row. And to go ahead and create our second box of the third row, we're going to do a chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and then we're going to do 3 double crochets in that gap where we slip stitched in. So 1, 2, and 3. Okay, and again, as usual, the chain 3 that we did counts as the first double crochet, and then we added 3 more to make 4. So your boxes are all made out of 4 double crochets. Then we're going to create our third box of the third row by slip stitching in that chain 3 that we left earlier in the previous box. So we're going to do that and then chain 3, 1, 2, 3. And then we're going to double crochet do 3 more double crochets in that same stitch where we slip stitched in before we did our chain 3. So 2 and 3. Okay, so as you can see here, this is our first row, 1 box. Our second row have 2 boxes. Our third row has 3 boxes. And this is pretty much what you're going to continue to do. Because this is a corner to corner scarf, it's going to eventually make a rectangle scarf. So as you can see, if we place it like this row is going to keep building up like this, and this row is going to keep building up upwards like that. So what we're looking to do is create the length or the width of our scarf by going as far as you want to go on this side, and then as soon as you hit the size that you're looking for in terms of the width of the scarf, you stop. And then you come back and we will go ahead and start reducing on this side and continuing to increase on this side. Okay guys, so I have my 10 rows of this corner to corner scarf here. So as you can see, that is pretty much going to be the width of my scarf. It's going to go this way now. So we're going to be reducing on this end and we're going to keep increasing on this end. So as you can see, this is pretty much how wide my scarf is going to be from this end to this end. And then the length will be based on how long I want it. Usually about 70 inches is how long my scarves are, but pretty much this is the length, the width of it here. So I'm going to show you how to do the reduction row, and then how we're going to go and continue to decrease on this side and increase on this side. Okay, so I'm going to be decreasing on this side, right hand side, and then on top here we're going to continue to increase because we want this to continue to build up like that. Okay, all right, so let's go ahead and get started on that 11th row. So like I said, I was going to do 10 rows, and this is 10 rows here, and I'll just quickly show you how you can count how many rows you have. So like I said earlier, the corner to corner shawl is pretty much a bunch of boxes that are put together to create that. So the way I would count it is each box is pretty much 1 row. So if we count down like this, we would be counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So I have 10 boxes here. And if we count upwards like this, it should match. So it should be 10 here. And if we count these boxes up here, it should also be 10. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, so that's how you're able to count what the rows are that you're doing for this corner to corner scarf. Okay, so for these 11th row, what we will do is what we have been doing, which is to do a chain of 6 here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then just like we did previously, we're going to go 1, 2, 3, and in this third stitch from the left, we're going to do our double crochet, and then we're going to do a double crochet in the next stitch to the left, and then a final double crochet in the last stitch to the left. Okay, so we're creating a box here, and this is the increase that we're talking about. And then you will flip your work over like this. You will slip stitch just like we've been doing for the previous 10 rows to that chain 3 box here, and then you're going to chain 3. So 1, 2, 3, and you're going to do 3 extra double crochets in that same space to create your box, and that is going to be consistent of 4 double crochets including the chain 3 that we just did. Okay, so that's your box here, and then we're going to slip stitch to the next gap here, do a chain of 3, and then again do a double crochet 3 times in the same gap. Okay, so I will let you go ahead and do that, and when you get to the end of this row, come back so I can show you how to start to reduce when you get here. Okay, so go ahead and do your double crochets. Go ahead and create your box stitches here until you get to this area here, and when you get here, come back and I'll show you how to do the reduction. Okay, see you in a bit. Okay guys, so I have completed my 11th row here. Okay, so what I'll do is I'll show you how to start reducing on this end here, and so we need to create a box first before we can do so. So we're going to chain 3, so 1 2 3, and then we're going to create our box at the end here. So that's 1 double crochet, 2 and 3. Okay, and so instead of doing our chain 6 and then creating a box here before we turn, we're going to actually just do a chain 1, turn our work this way, and we're going to slip stitch in each of these 3 double crochets here that we created, and then into this gap. Okay, so we're going to slip stitch here and then slip stitch in the next stitch, and then do the same in the next stitch. So that's 3 slip stitches, and then in this gap where we would usually do a block, we're going to slip stitch in there as well. Okay, there you go. So what we're doing here, as you can see, is we're starting to make our work go upwards like this, as opposed to it building outwards. We're going to start building it upwards like that. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is do a chain of 3, just like we would do to create the next block. So 1 2 3, and then we're going to do our 3 double crochets in this stitch here. That's 1 2 and 3. Okay, and then we're going to continue on doing a slip stitch here, chain 3, so 1 2 3, and then we're going to do 3 double crochets in that same gap. So the rest of the work doesn't really change except for this side where we're decreasing, because as soon as you get to this part where we're continuing to increase, you do the same, where you're going to do your box up here and then do your chain 6, create a box, turn it around. But when you come to this end, instead of doing that, you're going to actually just do the final box, chain 1, do slip stitches across the 3 double crochets, and then you could go ahead and continue to create the boxes. So I will quickly show you that when we come back. So what I will do is I will double crochet, I will do the same thing all the way to here, and then come back this way, and when I'm back to this beginning here, I will do the same thing so I can show you how to just continue to do that, and then I'll come back and tell you guys to let you guys pretty much build up your work until you have the length of your scarf. Okay, so see you in a bit. Okay guys, so I went ahead and completed that 11th row by going all the way to this corner here, and then doing my increase and then turning it back and coming down the project, and then now I'm on the side that we're going to be decreasing. Okay, so I just did my box here, I created my box here, and so I'm going to slip stitch right here. Okay, so we're just going to do a slip stitch there, and again, because we're not increasing on this side, we're actually decreasing, we're going to stop there, do our chain 1, and then turn our work back this way, and then we're going to slip stitch pretty much on top of the chain, the 3 double crochets that we created, and then into this gap here, the chain 3 gap, we're going to do a slip stitch there as well, and then we're going to go ahead and create our box by starting with a chain 3 and then doing 3 double crochets in that gap where we slip stitched in. Okay, so as you will see here, so that's 2 and 3, so that's our box here. And so if you look at the work, you will see that it's starting to move up. Oops, it's a little bit crooked. You will see that it's starting to move up like this, as opposed to it continuing to build up this way. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and slip stitch just like we will be doing in every single row, and we've been doing it every single row. We're going to go ahead and do a chain of 3 here, and then build your box by doing 3 more double crochets in that gap. So that's 2 and 3. Okay, and then you just continue to do the same thing. So again, so let's just quickly recap before I let you guys go ahead and build up your work. So we're going to be decreasing on this side, and you will tell that is a decrease side because it's starting to go up like this. And on this side here, we're going to continue to increase. So this is the only side where we're going to do a chain of 6 and then do our box, turn it, connect it, and then come down. But as soon as you come to this side here, instead of creating another box here, which is not needed because we're decreasing, we're going to pretty much do our final box like we just did here, and then turn your work by doing a chain 1 turn, and then continue to build your work back up like this. So you will see that this work is starting to go up like this, and we're starting to create that rectangle. Okay, so you're going to build your scarf as long as you want it, and then when you get the length of the scarf that you're looking for, come back and I'll show you guys how to start to reduce on both sides so we can start to connect the top of our scarf. So the top of our scarf here is going to end up pretty much going on like this. Okay, so go ahead and build up the whole middle, and when you get the length, I'll show you guys how to start to reduce on both sides. All right, so see you guys in a bit. Okay guys, so I have the length for my scarf, so I will stop here now. So I'll just quickly show you guys what I have so far. So as you can see, this is where we started our project. It's a corner to corner, so we started it here and we built up these 10 rows here before we started to reduce on this side to be able to make it the rectangular shape that it is. So as you can see then, so I'm just gonna kind of, because I cannot show the whole thing at once on camera, this is pretty much how my scarf looks like. Okay, so as you can see, the self-changing color yarn is super cool. I really like the combination of these colors. So as you can see, this is why I stopped right here. Okay, and I stopped here because we're going to start to reduce on this side as well. Actually, no, on this long side as well as this side, and therefore we're going to start to have this coming in like this. Let me bring it closer like this. So we're going to have to close in this gap here, okay, by reducing it on both sides. Okay, so just a little bit of details. So this scarf is going to end up being about 56 inches long. Okay, and also I ended up doing 76 rows, and I count 76 rows on this side. So again, as you know, we count these boxes as number of rows. So this here is pretty much my 76th row, and this is also going to be the length, and we're going to stop here. This is the length of the scarf because we're going to now reduce on this side, and this side is going to go up and go flat on top like this. Okay, so the scarf is going to be a total of 76 rows, and like I said, it's 56 inches. Okay, all right, so that's pretty much it. And like I said, so this is how much yarn I have. So this is a full skein here. As you see at the beginning of the video, I tell you how big it is, and this is how much I have left to be able to close off my scarf. So hopefully you budgeted it properly so that you don't run out of yarn before you get the length of scarf that you're looking for. If you do, please make sure you get more yarn. Okay, all right, so I'm gonna show you then how to reduce on this side as well, and therefore we don't continue to increase the scarf. So as you can see, like I said, this is my 76th row here, and I am here. So I'm going to do just what we've been doing all along, which is chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and I'm going to do my 3 double crochets in this gap here to create a box, just like that. Okay, and then I'm going to slip stitch like we've been doing on top here, like that. So now this is where we start to reduce on this side as well. So if I was going to continue to increase here, I would chain 3 and then do 3 more double crochets in here, and then chain 6 to be able to create my box to increase. But because we have stopped increasing, we're going to stop here. So I'm going to chain 1 and turn my work. Sorry, the scarf is big, so it's kind of on my way here, so I'm just gonna do it like this. Okay, so I chain 1 and then I flip my work, and then I'm going to do slip stitches in this gap in each stitch going this direction. Oops, give me 1 second here. Right here we're going to slip stitch and then slip stitch in the next stitch, slip stitch in the next stitch. Those are your 3 double crochets there, and then you're going to slip stitch on this chain 3 that we had from the previous row to create the box. Okay, so there you go. And then now that I've slip stitched in this gap, I'm going to chain 3, 1 2 3, and then do a chain 3 double crochets in that gap to create my box. So that's 2 and then 3. Okay, and then from this point on nothing changes. We slip stitch here. Okay, and then create a box. So 1 2 3, and then 3 double crochets in that gap here. 2 and 3. Okay, so quickly just to show you, so this is the top now. So as you can see, we're starting to flatten the top here, so it's going to go up like this, and we're going to continue to decrease on this side, pretty much what we just did here. So why don't you go ahead and work your work all the way to here. When you get here, I will just show you one more time how to decrease on this side, and then I'll let you guys build up your work until you close off your scarf. Okay, so finish this to here, and when you get here, come back to the video and I will show you how to do the decrease on this side, just in case you forgot. Okay, so I have pretty much come to the end of this row here, and as you can see, I did my cluster or my box right here. So I'm going to slip stitch in this last space here, just like that. Okay, and because again I'm not reducing, I'm going to chain 1 and turn my work. Okay, and then I am going to do slip stitches on top of each of the 3 double crochets I did. So 1 2 and 3, and then I'm going to slip stitch inside of this chain 3 that I had from earlier. So just like that. Okay, so as you can see, we're continuing to reduce on this side, which is keeping it kind of straight. And again, when we go up here, we're going to reduce right here, which is going to keep this straight like this. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and continue to do so until you pretty much come to almost like a closure for your work. So I'll have you guys build your work that way. So let me just make it straight here. So you're going to go up like this, you're going to reduce, so it's going to go right here, and you're going to continue, and eventually your work is going to close off this diamond shape area in here. And when you get to the final one, which is going to be somewhere here, come back and we will finish it off together, and it will pretty much be the end of our project. Okay, so see you guys in a bit. Okay guys, so as you can see here, I am pretty much done. So I have one more single row here to do to be able to close off my corner to corner scarf. Okay, so hopefully you're in that spot as well. So I did my box right here, I slip stitch here, and I'm going to do my single crochet before I turn. Okay, there you go. And then I'm going to continue to do what we've been doing, which is slip stitch in that first, on top of that first double crochet, slip stitch on top of the second double crochet, and then in the third, and then slip stitch in that gap here. Okay, so as you can see, I just have to do one more box to close this section off, and we are done. So we'll do that together. So I'm going to chain 3, 1 2 3, and then I'm going to do my 3 double crochets in this gap here, just like we've been doing. So I'm just creating the final box right in here, just like so. So that's my third, and then we're going to do our final slip stitch on top here, and there you go. So I'm just gonna pull that like that for now. So let's look at what we have. So as you can see, now we have closed the top completely. So that's how we finish off our work. And with these corner to corner, there are these little sections here that you could just kind of play with and pull them out and kind of just adjust your boxes so they kind of fall in place. Okay, so that's pretty much it here. So we're done. I'm going to get ahead and grab my scissors so we can cut that off. Okay, so I'm going to cut these off right there, and then I'm going to do another slip stitch just like that to close that off. Okay, and now what I will do is just to weave these in. I won't actually weave it in, but I will just kind of bring the string to the side here like this, and then I will do a knot right there. I don't weave in my ends with a weaving needle very often, so you will see in my videos I just kind of do knots like that, and then I'll cut the string off for the excess yarn. So I'll cut these off here. Okay, and you will see this little knob here, and I will just tuck it into a stitch, and it just kind of hides it completely, and then you don't even see it anymore. Okay, so there you go. And of course I will do the same with where we started off our project. So this is where we started off our corner to corner. So I'll go ahead and just kind of bring that in like this as well. And then I will do the knot and then cut it off. There you go, just like that. And then we'll just kind of switch this and use your nail to tuck it in, and there you go, it's disappeared. Now, and the other thing, as you guys can see here, this is actually how much yarn I have left out of my skein that we started this project with. So it's not too bad. It's probably, I could have probably done another row with this, but because I wasn't sure if I was gonna have enough, I played it safe by stopping just right before I was really low, before I started to reduce. Okay, so that's how much yarn I have left. So I will probably keep this in case I do something with it in the future, but for now we're gonna put it on the side. And then again, we're going to kind of look at our work here. So as you can see, I cannot fit everything on the camera at once, but this is pretty much our corner to corner scarf here, you guys. It's so beautiful. I love these colors so much, and it's just long enough that I will probably just kind of, it's a very nice small scarf to just kind of put it around your neck when you're going out. It's not too wide and it's not too long. Okay, and like I said, the self-changing colors here are extremely beautiful. You don't have to change these colors yourself. The yarn does it for you. And that's pretty much it, you guys. Thank you so much for doing this project with me today, and I hope you guys actually try to do this on your own. If you're a beginner and you make a couple of mistakes, just keep watching the video, keep going back, and eventually you will get it right. And I hope you enjoyed doing this with me, and I will see you guys in my next video. Ciao, ciao.